Welcome everybody once again, GSC Invitational 2. This time, I'm recording Winners Bracket Round 3 just after that slobber knocker that TC got to the face from, well, I won't say what strategy, and I won't say what happened, but you guys can go check that out. And here we are with two really hot stars, Siatam and Dice. I really like to see rising stars. I don't pay too much attention to GSC OU throughout the year, but I've noticed that Siatam is really good, and he's been sticking it to a lot of the great players that you might otherwise expect to beat him. So, an underdog, but still knows his shit. And then there's Dice. Dice, who, if you've been watching GSC for more than 3 years, you must be very familiar with. If you've been watching Black and White, you probably know him as well for that. But when it comes to GSC, he goes way back. I mean, we're talking, I think we're at a point where talking about Lavos is not old school, but it's still, it has its history. It has its history, and he's been in, SPL 8, SPL 9, probably earlier too. So he's been around for a while, and he's probably been in the past 3, at least one of the past 3, as a GSCer, though mostly been focusing on Black and White in recent years. That doesn't change the fact that if you've ever heard of Dice in GSC, he's an extremely adept builder. He likes to think outside the box. And I couldn't not record this matchup. I'm just too excited. So, before we begin, remember to subscribe, leave a like if you do enjoy this video, and a comment to let me know what your thoughts are. Share this video around, and, yada, yada, yada. So, here we go. Best of 3, winners bracket. Laxon Jinx. I could definitely see Thingamabob Dice going for Jinx as he reveals counter turn 1, and Siatam respecting that counter goes to, but respecting the lovely kiss more perhaps, pivots back. We see counter thief Jinx, so one way or another getting some sort of a punish on that Lax, and goes counter thief Jinx, lovely kiss ice beam. Jesus. Okay. Well, at the very least, Siatam managed to get a good target to sleep, but he used rest, so that Jinx is free to use Lovely Kiss again. Golem from Dice's End is going to come in. I don't think I've ever seen a Jinx set like that before. That's going to be really hard to switch in on. Seems prepared for every set of Lax. And Siatam gets a Toxic on the Snorlax first, and next turn is probably going to go for that. Go for those spikes. And we're going to see from there what happens. Gengar, maybe to catch a Toxic, still forcing the Cloyster out with Ice Punch, threatening to hurt the Golem, but no, just decides he doesn't want to have any of it. He's going to boom on that Jinx, doesn't want any funny business, and he's going to let the T-Tar do the rest of the work. As we see Reflect Zapdos, probably Whirlwind, maybe suggesting that the Snorlax is a Sleep Talk as well. So the Zapdos on Dice's End is not Sleep Talk. Managing to tank that Rock Slide like a champ and gets a nice T-Bolt para. Spinning away the spikes and still behind a very comfortable spin. And that's interesting that Siatam stayed in there, because I wouldn't imagine that Siatam wants to stay in with T-Tar if the Golem is behind Reflect and the T-Tar has EQ. It fully parried, so we don't know what move it has, but it makes me think that it might have something a little quirkier than EQ. Maybe a Surf, maybe. So the Zap is coming in here. And Siatam predicts the lax to come in. It's probably Sleep Talk. We're probably on the same page, him and I. Goes for spikes. Yes, he does. And we're going to see here how the rest of the turns play out. Because I'm not going to lie, I'm not on Siatam's level. He's definitely picking up things that I'm not. We do see the standard Nidhogard Tar on Siatam's team. As you saw earlier, the lead lax was Mono Curse Talk. So there's that. He's going to go back to the Cloister because he wants to keep those spikes up as long as he can. Doesn't want to concede any turns, any progression. Doesn't want to give that up. And he's just switching to the Zap. And the T-Tar is still dealing a decent amount to the Zap, but the Zapdos is getting a lot of recovery back from spikes, forcing a lot of Mons. So this T-Tar is trying to do a lot of different things at once. And the Nidoking finally comes in. It has a slightly better matchup versus this Zapdos here. But it's also a good invitation for the Lax to come in. It's poison, so it's not afraid of Lovely Kiss whatsoever. Behind a Reflect at that, so... Yep. Cloister's getting chipped. Not going to be able to stay in forever. Wow. Okay. Was that a prediction? Dice goes for the somewhat safe Cloy there. Booms on the Zap. That was a lot less safe. Punishing any attempt at a prediction. And then we see Espeon. Double Psychic. Hidden Power Water Espeon on the full para. Right on the T-Tar. So the only thing in Dice's way now is that Snorlax. I told you that Dice would be exciting. Siatam's going to have to keep his head in the game if he wants to pull through. His main concern right now, besides the Espeon and, well, everything that's in Dice's arsenal right now, we don't even know. It's just that Golem to me, because that Golem is the one thing that can end his last win condition. He's wanting to get some chip there. And he's just going to wait for the Golem to phase the Lax out. Basically hoping for Lady Luck to be on his side. An EQ would have been pretty strong as a move. Didn't happen. Too bad. Lovely Kiss might have been to shut down, I don't know, Zap, but I think EQ would have been a little nicer. Didn't really end up changing too many things. And I think we have yet to see a Hidden Power. No, we already know that it has Hidden Power. It's going to get some important chip damage on that Nido. And now the Nidoking could threaten Lovely Kiss. No, it's going to pivot back out. Doesn't want to take too many chances. But really, interesting not to go for Reflect there. Okay. Rest. Well, Golems goes for an EQ, probably trying to catch the Cloy or the Nidoking at this point. Siatam is afraid to stay in with the Lax, so it's a matter of choosing the right time to pull that trigger, but Dice is a very patient player. He's very experienced. He knows exactly what it is Siatam wants, and he's going to make sure that this Nidoking goes down so his target, his explosion, is not going to miss. So Siatam really needs luck this time. He just needs egregious, disgusting luck to beat Dice at this point because it's looking really, really tough. It's also Sleep Talk, so yeah, like I said, we don't know if it's EQ or Curse or anything, but I suspect something along the lines of EQ because T-Tar looks mighty nasty for Dice's team. But I could be wrong. The Golem. Very interesting take. Very interesting. Very offensive team. And a great use of the spikes and the special attacking. The Lax is going to go down. There really isn't anything that's stopping this Espeon now. It's game over. Game 1 has been, well, this just shows that Siatam is a great sport, letting the opponent take him out, doesn't forfeit early like other players would do, even though it was clearly lost. So, let's see what he might have in store for game 2. What's he going to do? How is he going to adapt? Okay. Friendly reminder to like and subscribe. And let's go to game 2. So, Snorlax. Lax on Lax lead. Both going for Curse. Interesting. So, the thing with this is that if they both go for Curse, it could mean a number of things, but honestly, it's impossible to tell. So I'm just not going to say anything so as not to melt people's brains. But we see the renowned Haze D-Knight. Is it also Reflect? Is it the set I think it is? Reflect Haze. Jeez. Shutting down any possibility at setup. It is susceptible to crits, but it's a do-nothing Mon. Do-nothing. But the one thing it's effective at is staying in on the Lax. And unfortunately, Siatam does not get the Toxic on that Starmie. This Fori is going to be a little annoying for this Snorlax. But nonetheless, Siatam is going to push through, get some nice chip on the Fori. He knows that at the very least, it could ease the matchup a little bit for his Cloyster. And we do see Hidden Power. So Hidden Power, Toxic, and Spikes. I really doubt that it has... oh my god. Okay. Me and my big mouth. So there's the rest. And Dice is going to go to D-Knight. Very scary. Oh, wow. It's not... okay, did he know that this wasn't Sleep Talk? Or... jeez. Dang, I don't even know if I would have gone to that. I might not even have rested there. Okay. Okay. At least he gets some early chip on the Fori. The Golem does outspeed the Forretress, so EQ is going to deal some nice damage. But he might want to switch out here. Gets a spin. It's too much for me to read into this game. I don't know how I can contribute in a substantial way. I'm just using my larynx at this point, my vocal cords and my emotions. There's the Heal Bell user. That's the only explanation why the Fori has rest and no boom, no rapid spin either. So the Starmie has to be rapid spin. Has to. I mean, it wouldn't make much sense otherwise. But we do see Lovely Kiss, so this might actually be the thing to turn the tables in Siatam's favor. He's at +1. Double Edge is going to deal a ton. There we go, 61. Dice can go for 1 Reflect or 1 Haze. Chooses to go for Reflect. Probably calc that correctly. And now he's going to have to rely on some favorable Sleep Talk turns because, yes, it's a Rest, Haze, Reflect, Sleep Talk. It has a fuck ton of PP. It's impossible to outstall. It just sits there. So, safe to go to Cloy. Is he going to attempt the Toxic? No, this time around, he's not going to. Zap still threatens the Fori, but now Lax might come in here. Para? Yes. I've seen this variation of team before, but it actually had Blissey. And, I don't know, other things. It didn't have Skarmory, interestingly enough. I think it had some sort of Ghost. But the fundamental idea is that you have D-Knight plus a Steel type, another good Lax, like Curse Lax check, and then a Spinner. And then, yeah, we may never end up seeing what's in the back, but I have faith in Siatam. Okay. Oh my god, did he just stay in? Why would he... okay. Uh, questionable. Very questionable. What was okay? Uh, I'm not sure I understand the point here. I think that might have been a little bit an over predicament of a prediction. What was the idea? I don't really know what the idea there was. Might have been a misclick. Without any spinner, that game was going to be very tough to win, and then throwing the Fori away there. We did not get to see just how annoying this Dragonite is. So, and perhaps to the joy of many viewers, we're going to move on to Game 3. I didn't know the outcome of this match at all. Nobody revealed to me the outcome. So, here we go. Game 3. This is still winner's bracket, though. So, there's both more of Siatam and Dice to be seen in the future matches. We do have Lax lead this time around versus Raikou. So, 3 for 3, I'm pretty sure. Lax lead on Siatam's end. Whereas Dice switched it around quite a bit. The Raikou taking a double edge. That's very risky, but I guess if you're going for damage, that's justifiable. But like a crit can actually potentially OHKO the Raikou. So that's something to keep in mind. I'm not one to coach someone that has an SPL avatar. I'm just saying. I was just giving my 2 cents. So Dice has Cloyster and the spikes. Now he has Lax and goes to Raikou. So Siatam is going for an early hypnosis, and that might be quite beneficial. Raikou, even if it is sleep talk, doesn't always want to be put to sleep anyways, because those sleep rolls can be a little unreliable and very easily exploitable. The Steelix gets a nice crit on the Cloy. That can actually be very helpful. And we do see Hera, El Bicho. Man, I haven't seen a very offensive team like this one with Hera on the side in a while. Besides like the standard boom offense stuff with Raikou. I really don't like that team though. Which, if I'm not mistaken, no, that was built by Lavos. It was the Eggy, Steelix, Boomlax, Raikou team with Hera in the back. Anyways, sorry about the delay. We do see Flamelax, so hitting that super effective damage on Steelix. And Golem is a spinner, so Dice bringing a pretty bread and butter double elect team. With Curse Flamethrower, the bane of many stall teams. Okay. So Siatam has a Sleep Talk Lax. We don't know if it's mono. Probably not. Ooh, and a freeze. Yeah, Gengar is safe to fish for that freeze when you see Flamethrower. So the Cloyster comes in. Basically, all of these turns are going slightly in Siatam's favor. Dice knows, though, that the Snorlax can be a little scary nonetheless. Wants to burn those turns and potentially, thaw out the Lax. And is also going to scout. Here we are going to see if the Snorlax thaws, because, yes, ladies and gentlemen, thawing works like this in GSC. The game checks at the end of the turn for that like 10% chance. So you don't even have to attack. You can just switch in, and as long as you don't get phased back out, then the game's going to check. And as you saw there, the lax wasn't even in at the beginning of that turn, and it thawed out. So it's a little more passive. You can't act on the turn that you thaw, but still helpful. It still went pretty well for Siatam. He got some nice momentum there. I'm going to go to Lax, whom we may possibly assume. I don't know. I'm not actually sure what it could be. With the sleep talk, I suppose it could be Flamethrower. Team's kind of weak to Jinx. I don't know. Not really sure. So, Cloyster's going to get the spikes up. Again. This time, Raikou versus Lax once more. So, the situation has reset itself. Siatam is slightly in the lead here. Well, I mean, it depends how you look at it, really. But, yeah, I would put Siatam in the lead. The Golem's not going to spin, but now could threaten a spin or an EQ. Would probably go for the spin, knowing that the Gengar's switching out. Cloyster's coming in, going to get the spikes. Again. Booming here would be just madness. And Lax is very safe. And you have to wonder if Dice has a Skarmory in the back or not. Until he sees what that fourth move on Lax is, he's not going to decide to bring anything besides Golem. Which is very interesting. It's a, I don't want to give you more information than you already have kind of play. And this Zap is somewhat threatened here. It would be kind of madness to pull the trigger so soon with such a healthy Golem. And we're going to see right now. Nope. Never mind. Double Edge again. We have not seen the move. We've not seen that fourth. And that's the only information that Siatam is withholding. Oh my lord! Wanted to get an extra EQ on the Chloe. Jesus. And the Golem goes down, and that can be very scary because we don't know just yet what set that Snorlax is. Dice is going to bring in his own Lax. He's going to attempt to set up. Doesn't have too many other options. And now we're going to see just what is this set. Gets a good double edge. That's a really good double edge, that turn there. Another. Essentially forcing Dice into this awkward position. It's in range. But it's going to be very hard to get Cloyster back in. This Cloyster is going to threaten a boom. The Lax is in range. There are two electrics. It's really hard. T-Bolt. Why did... Okay, I was kind of more towards keeping the Lax alive, but it also wasn't progressing too much. I don't know. Okay, I would have gone to Raikou. Siatam reveals that it has T-Bolt, Hidden Power, Whirlwind, and Thunder Wave. I didn't comment on the fact that it was Whirlwind, did I? Yeah, so now this Steelix might go for something fun. There goes the possible last electric check on Dice's team. Suddenly, things are looking very scary for Dice. And we don't know what's in the back. Could be bluffing a double electric stall the whole time. And we still don't know what's Siatam's fourth. Gets a nice crit. Doesn't quite KO the Gengar. And is safe to go for anything it wants. could even switch out here because it's not in range. It can still switch in one last time with the spikes and all that stuff. Save the boom for later, essentially. Gonna sack El Bicho. Did nothing in this game, but doesn't matter. There's Pori last, so there's the bluff. Is this gonna pay off? Cloy outspeeds the Pori and can boom for free. Is gonna do just that, taking out Porygon 2. And Zapdos, I believe, is in range of an explosion. So this is going to be Siatam turning things around. He has eliminated... No, he has sent to losers yet another strong player. What a matchup. What a matchup. And I'm pleasantly surprised, but at the same time not surprised that DICE brought such an interesting team. the pseudo, typical run-of-the-mill double electric, but he's too cool for that because, honestly, I think double electric is a little bit lame. So I'm glad he brought Pori too. I don't know if it played in his favor that much, but I don't think that Scarm would have helped necessarily. Maybe. Anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed. Subscribe for more GSC content and stay tuned. Bye-bye.